Welcome to Casual Nerd Reactions. My name is Chris. Today I'm watching The Haunting of Hill House for the very first time, and I'm very excited to share this experience with you. This is actually my first time watching a horror TV show at all, so it'll be fun, right? I do enjoy going into things as blind as possible, so I don't know what this series is about. I don't know who's in it. I can surmise based on the title, there's probably a haunted house that sits on a hill, but that is the extent of my knowledge. I have been interested in this show ever since I watched Dr. Sleep, specifically Mike Flanagan's director's cut. I was blown away and impressed by that show and have been interested in seeing more of his content ever since. And so The Haunting of Hill House is, well, that's what's next for me. I'm hoping maybe to eventually watch the remainder of his horror shows. If you're interested in that, then like, subscribe, leave a comment to let me know. Okay, I sometimes can psych myself up before watching horror content. I'm trying to remain chill. This is the first episode of the series, so if you would like to watch the full episode with me, it is available for free over on my Patreon. Check that out if you want. On Patreon, for $5, you can watch the next 2 months of reactions right now. And for $3 more, at $8, you can add the full episode reactions, again, 2 months early. So this entire show is there right now. I will be releasing 2 episodes a week, and I'm very excited to dive into this. A little bit nervous, but mostly excited. So let's experience The Haunting of Hill House for the very first time.
No live organism can continue to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. Within, walls stood upright, bricks met neatly. Floors were firm. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House.
Huh.
And whatever walked there, walked alone.
Beautiful opening narration. Wow, very poetic. Then, kind of like the vague time period with then, assuming there'll also be a now at some point.
It's okay, Theo. Go back to bed.
Theo.
Sure, wake up Mom and Dad. I've got it.
He seems mature for his age.
I get scared too sometimes. Are you awake, Luke?
Because Nellie's awake.
Yeah, that makes sense. She was literally screaming right next to him.
Lady.
The bent
Oh, her again.
neck lady. Guess Dad heard too.
You remember what we talked about before? About our dreams?
They can spill.
That's right. Just like a cup of water can spill sometime.
That's a pretty cool way to look at it, actually.
Now, I know that bent neck lady is really scary. And that's all she is.
How long do we have to live here, Daddy?
Your mother and I, we have to finish fixing this house. And then someone has to buy it, just like the last house. I love you, sweetie.
Okay, I'm nervous because I like this whole family right now. And I don't want anything bad to ever happen to any of these characters. So I might be watching the wrong genre. Dancing in the Red Room? That's creepy as all get out.
You're dreaming, Cheryl.
The pandas aren't dreaming.
Pandas, huh?
Pandas don't eat macaroni.
That's probably true.
Noted.
It got very quiet. Always fun when the music cuts out when the sound effects are amplified. Creating scares when there's nothing to be scared of. Okay.
Everyone alive.
For now. Wonder if there's a reason Nellie in particular seems to be seeing or experiencing the wind. I'm sure the wind or something opened the door. It's the not showing the rest of the room. Oh my gosh. I thought there was something weird behind her, but I just dismissed it as something in my own mind. But then it moved. And it did, in fact, look like blah, blah, blah. It did, in fact, look like a lady with a bent neck. Kind of statuesque, even with this here. Statues are especially terrifying to me at this current moment. Because not too long ago, I watched an episode of Doctor Who called Blink, which involved a villain, is that even the right word, called a weeping angel? You should watch it, Blink, Doctor Who, it's so good.
Carl was driving on Rural 86 during the storms when he lost control of the car. He went over a guardrail and went down a ravine.
Interrogation or therapy? I'm leaning towards therapy.
Upside down, tangled up in his seatbelt. They said he could reach the horn, and that's how he died. Upside down, pressing on that horn for as long as he could stand to.
So sad.
So, when did it start?
The night after he died. It started with...
Or is he a
drops of
paranormal investigator?
raindrops falling onto my face.
That's a song.
I started to hear a car horn, and then I looked up at the ceiling, and there he was, upside down.
That's so unsettling. Ooh.
And I screamed all right, and I ran, and I tripped in the hallway.
I love that we keep cutting to the recorder, the voice memo.
And that was the last time I've slept in that room.
That'll do it.
It's a very interesting story, Mrs. Walker.
So we're at her house, probably.
This is what I'd like to do. I'd also like to sleep in that room tonight. I can't promise I'll include your story in my book.
Author. The Haunting of Hill House. Written by, I believe, him.
I'm a fan. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone at Hill House.
The opening
I
narration.
can't imagine what it was like living there.
It wasn't famous when we moved in. If you actually saw your husband hanging upside down over your bed, you've seen more than I ever have.
Interesting.
I've never seen a ghost.
The way you write, I just assumed.
Other people's stories. I give them the right voice, that's all.
Carl will finally give you a story of your own. You were one of his favorite writers, so maybe that's the reason for all this.
He's reaching out from beyond just to connect with his favorite writer.
All those years trying to understand what happened in that house, you know what I never found? A reason. So don't expect one.
I can't wait to find out what happened or what will happen in Hill House.
You know who I wish would write a book? Your dad.
Ooh.
Just tonight. I'd rather sleep here.
I'll stay with her a bit.
His sister's the one with the experiences. I love how I can hear the clock. It sounds really far away. The tick. It's a really great shot. I like the image of mom sleeping on the floor. Man, if something shows up right after mom leaves. Oh, good. The clock's much louder now and more immersive. What does she see? Oh, what? I feel like whatever she saw was far more terrifying than the side image we saw. Man, she's calling her whole family right now.
Sorry.
She needs something. She needs help. She struggling.
Are you saying you'd prefer not to do a viewing?
She also works in death. Interesting.
It's Max. I think he's just a little
nervous about it.
I don't need to say goodbye.
Tell us more.
Mommy keeps sitting on my bed at night, touching my hair.
Oh boy. As far as ghosts go, that's kind of sweet.
It's hard to understand. Everything's so twisted and it's hard to explain, but I'm worried about Luke.
Okay, so we know that Nell, Luke, Shirley, Steven are all still alive. That's encouraging, right?
Mr. Dudley found something for you.
Oh, and I'm gonna need it back.
What is it?
Open it!
Mr. Dudley says this is a master key, so
okay.
it's supposed to open any door in the house. Daddy says they've been taking care of this house for years and years, so if anyone would know where the key is.
What do you think is in there?
Well, it's a red door. Maybe it's a red room.
This door's been locked for years and years and years and years, so if there's a pony in there, it's dead.
She's a realist.
This one doesn't work either.
Daddy, we need more keys. It's an emergency.
It's an emergency. Oh, such an adorable family.
I know you don't need me to tell you this, but literally everything.
What is behind the door, though?
Call Luke.
I did.
Straight to voicemail.
He sold his phone for
Cash or he's still in rehab, which...
Okay, Luke's been in rehab.
You working?
That's right, Cheryl. Something else you want to add?
Fine, I'll just handle it, shall I? 'Cause I'm the oldest. It's my job.
Oh, wait. That's you.
fine.
I'll handle...
So, some resentment, maybe towards his career. Maybe she's had to take on more responsibility than she feels like she should have to.
There's natural phenomena that we understand, and then there's natural phenomena that we don't.
Primitive humans used to die of fright during an eclipse. I had no idea what it was.
Oh.
Nothing supernatural about it, though. For preternatural. Natural phenomena that we don't quite understand yet.
Yeah, it's a perspective. I kind of like that point of view, but I have a feeling that his worldview it might be shattered by the end of this show. Maybe in this episode.
Hi, this is Nell. Please leave a message after the beep.
Dang it.
I talked to Shirley. I know you're worried about Luke, but I called his rehab center, and he's fine. He actually got his 90-day chip today.
Good for him.
I hope you're well, Nellie.
She's not. So immediately, I absolutely love that this show is about the characters. It's not just about trying to scare the crap out of you, although I have a feeling it might get there. Like, the scary things happening, some supernatural phenomena, but it is about the characters, and I'm already invested specifically in wanting to see more about not just the characters, but how they might be affected by the supernatural on any show, period. If you don't care about the characters, the rest of the show is irrelevant. So we've met it with all of the kids now, except for Luke. We've had reference to Luke. We've had reference to Dad saying wish he could write a book, which makes me think that maybe he's alive still. We haven't heard any modern day reference to Mom.
So what's your story? What do you mean?
I'm gonna guess she's not wanting to talk.
I'm here for grad school. Sociology. What's that about? Just kind of a germaphobe. That was really good. I have to work tomorrow.
She's kicking you out.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Trish seems like a real
Something
sweet girl.
I said? No. We just did what we came here to do, yeah? Okay, then.
Clearly, they're looking for different things.
Hi. She coming back? No. I mean, she's sweet enough, but pile of issues.
What?
You're worse than a guy. You're like a frat guy. Nell called me today.
Interesting. Nell didn't call Theo.
We still haven't talked since LA.
Theo.
Don't. I'm just waiting for an apology. One foot in crazy and the other on a banana peel. Her whole life.
Wow. They obviously don't understand
She
what
said it was about
Nell has
Luke.
experienced in her life.
Luke will show up when he needs money.
I just keep thinking, what if he doesn't? Or if he does, it'll be the last time I ever see him.
Boundaries. Maybe a brick wall when it comes to Luke.
Obviously, we have a little more information than some of the characters have. So my natural inclination is wanting everyone just to be a happy family, to reconnect and be there and support each other. But I am confident these characters also, one, don't have all the information. Two, have had experiences and probably have pretty good reasons for putting up walls and keeping their distance. It doesn't stop me from rooting for them to lower those walls and be there for Nell, who really seems to have a strong need right now. What? Because that bed was empty. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe don't turn around. Closed eyes. I'm gonna put this down. Just the drape!
Nell?
Daddy,
So is his wife? She's probably dead.
remember the bed neck lady?
Ooh, okay.
She's back.
Where are you?
I'm at home.
Or
in bed.
I want you
Lies.
to go to Stephen Lee's.
I think she's at Hill House.
I'll see you there tomorrow.
Okay. I love you, Daddy.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Interesting that he would have that dream of his wife right before his daughter, who sees ghosts, calls. I knew she was at Hill House. That's a jump scare. Again, the jump, that's a production scare. A scare when there's nothing to be scared of. Oh. Oof.
Get up. Stevie, get up.
Dad?
Here we go. Is Dad seeing the ghosts too? Assuming there's something unpleasant, turning the knob and not one of his daughters or Luke or his wife. We are lacking the context of whatever Dad experienced before he ran into the room.
I'm gonna carry you. You You keep your eyes closed no matter what you hear.
It's a really suspenseful scene. I love it.
Eyes closed. Get back in the car.
I saw Abigail in the window.
Luke,
She was
who's
in the window.
Abigail?
That's not Mom.
It's not Mom.
We can't let Mom.
Well, clearly Mom's...
No reason you and I need to talk. You don't just get to call me and tell me what to do.
Huh.
You're closest and your sister needs you.
I'm not even...
I'll see you there. I'll meet you there.
The fact that you're not at home is irrelevant. Sorry. Think you'll see a ghost? I normally try not to look at the title of the episodes. I did see the title of this episode. A little dance. Makes me sad. Who are you dancing with? Is that the tilt neck lady? I don't know. It's a scary image. 302. That's when scary stuff happens. Oh, apparently it's 303. Shirley?
Nellie's in the red room.
Nellie's in the red room. What? They all had the same dream? Cool. Different time zones. Still 03. Raindrops are falling on his face, just like the story. It maybe something happened, like that dream maybe unlocked something inside of Nell's siblings. Maybe from now on they'll start seeing the types of things she's seen her whole life. Could just be a total normal non-supernatural leak, but I doubt it. Coincidence! Pretty good one. Anyone else laugh when they get scared?
A four-way stop without a sign is bound to have a few near misses. You're probably just noticing the car horns now because you're not sleeping as well. There's a leak in your roof.
He's just explaining all of the paranormal activity away. He's a debunker and an author who writes about it. He can be two things.
A ghost can be a lot of things. A memory, a daydream.
Thank you for doing that. Carl would have loved it.
My pleasure.
Oh, what's he see?
You didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
What's going on?
My brother just raped the family is what's going on.
Hang on.
Look, I get that things haven't exactly been going well with your writing, but this is...
I sent you guys the manuscript in case you had any objections.
Of course we object. I object.
So this is like back when he first wrote the book.
You make Mom sound crazy.
Oh, Mom wasn't crazy?
And the Dudleys and Dad, this is the worst of the bull. Worse than the tabloids.
Dad had every opportunity to set that straight.
He just lost his wife.
And he hasn't said since.
What you're doing to Mom?
Mom was mentally ill. It's a fact.
Is he still married in the current day? I'm feeling like it might be a no.
Nobody's buying the novels, Cheryl.
You publish this, you know what it costs.
Everything.
I'll write your story. It's a good story. I'll need to take some liberties. I always do. I promise to be respectful.
Irene's eyes are really open.
You really didn't see anything.
It was a suicide.
Huh?
They confirmed it.
It doesn't matter. They got this off your statement.
I wasn't thinking clearly that night. We just lean on that.
We can't unring this bell.
Okay, fine. They can rip me to pieces, but they don't get to take bites out of the kids.
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
If you lose,
I won't.
if you do though, do we really have to go live with Aunt Janet?
Oh, that cut. So did they have to go live with Aunt Janet?
What do you want?
Ex-wife.
So my sister, she may show up at the house today.
At my house?
The house, yeah. I didn't get a chance to tell him it's... But I'm sorry, you can just point it at me.
Man, I can't wait to find out more information about all of this. We're just getting like bits and pieces of the story in all the best ways, I think.
That says you and Mr. Dudley come with the house.
Houses like this one require a staff.
So the people that lived here before us,
The Hills?
so they were all alone?
No one would live nearer than town. They lived all alone, in the dark.
My dad found a bunch of stuff in the parlor. Tarot cards and Ouija boards and all that. So something tells me they weren't too scared of the dark.
I see. The world is dark, young man, and the only light is the light of the Lord Jesus Christ. We need his light.
Not the direction I thought she was going to go with that.
Do you know the Gospels, young man?
He does. Hugh and I decided when Steve was little. See, we knew that throughout his life he'd be exposed to all sorts of ideas, and there'd be all sorts of people who'd tell him they had the answers. He knows the Gospels. He's also familiar with the Talmud, the Tao Te Ching, the Torah, the Quran, Greek mythology.
Very interesting.
Well, I don't suppose either of you have seen Luke.
I assume you tried the treehouse?
Very funny, mister.
Why is that funny?
Mom's looking for you. Never occurs to her you'll be in your treehouse. Who's this?
Some girl I saw by the woods.
Does Luke also see things, ghosts? We haven't really met Luke yet in the present day, other than he has a drug issue.
Will you hang out with me? Just Stevie and Luke.
Cool kids. Where do you
See?
get the ideas for these drawings?
Yeah, they're just dripping information, showing scenes from these kids' life at Hill House, but like out of sequence, out of order. It's intriguing as all get out. It creates a really compelling character-driven mystery. Luke?
Hey, Luke. Well, this isn't what it looks like.
Just cold.
Are you cold? How'd you know where to find me?
$200 here. You hand me that iPad, you can keep the cash and sell that old camera.
He said it's not what it looks like. Should I take him at his word? My instinct is no, but it's curious.
I'm sorry. I know it really isn't what you think.
Because it sure looks like you're stealing to pay for drugs. Definitely looks like you broke in, but... Oh, she's there. She found him.
I tried to tell Dad we're having some issues. Did you tell Luke where I live? Did you bring him here? You just stood there and watched him loot me? So you hit up everybody, dragged Luke out, made Dad hop on a plane.
Oh my gosh.
Fine.
Wait,
You got us all listening. What do you want?
is Nell dead? It's gonna be a phone call telling him his sister's dead, and it passed the sight onto him or something.
It's about Nell.
I know, I just walked in and she's,
Nell was lying. She wasn't in L.A. She was at the house, Steve. She's dead.
Holy jump scare, Batman. Her eye, her mouth, okay. Oh, we're in it now. That's how you end the first episode, though. Unless there's more. That was fantastic. I loved the first episode here. It really created, as I just said, a compelling character-driven mystery. And I have a lot of questions, a lot of things that I'm truly intrigued about and I need to learn more about. And this show, honestly, I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect it to be so focused on the characters. And so what they're giving me is something I didn't expect and something that I absolutely love. It's honestly, I think it's somewhat rare to find a show that kind of immediately hooks you with these family dynamics where I am so invested and so curious with questions. I love that they're showing us the past sequences and slightly out of order. And I love the modern day or the now version of Steve, the skeptic who doesn't believe in ghosts. I love the scene with Irene. I think that really said it all. Like, he flat out tells her, basically debunks the whole thing. Is like, I definitely do not believe you that you saw a ghost. Let me explain it away for you, but I will write your story. I will write it. That says just about everything about his character. Of course, at the end, he has had a moment that is going to clearly change his outlook on life. I really like the well-reasoned perspective that he had, just kind of wanting to explain everything away. And with the way his parents raised him, introducing him to all of these different worldviews and concepts, it's understandable that he would be like that skeptic, that his true belief is on rationality and explaining things and science. But I don't think he can explain his dead sister appearing. It was nice of her to wait for the scary moments of her persona until he found out that she was dead first. It was a really effective narrative device, at the very least. Really, really well done. I am sad that Nell is dead because she just the fact that seems to be the central character that sees ghosts. I think that is very interesting. I really want to know more about her, and I'm sure we will get to know more about what she saw and who she was as a child. But it seems like we probably won't as an adult unless she develops better communication skills as a ghost. I don't suspect the show's going to go that route. But we also have Luke, who I think sees ghosts, and now Steve. It seems like it passed to him. I assume Dad and Mom saw things as well. So I feel like that might just leave Shirley out in the dark. Also, it's just now occurring to me that middle of the night, whatever 03 dream they had might have been the moment she died. They all had that dream, so maybe Shirley will be open to supernatural experiences. Now, I don't know. I want more about her experience as a child, why she was so opposed to writing that book. Obviously, her mom's death became a nationwide spectacle. Her dad became a laughingstock. Maybe that's enough for her to not want to revisit it. But I'm wondering if Shirley also had supernatural experiences as a child or not, or if she's had any as an adult. I suspect Luke has, and I suspect that played a large role in his being there and breaking in the middle of the night. Why that would prompt him to specifically steal the camera and the iPad, I don't think it was just about monetary value. I think there was more going on there. And I'm so curious to find out more, and we will find out more in the next episode, and I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this, consider checking me out over on Patreon or as a YouTube channel member, where you can watch the next 2 months of reactions right now, which would include this entire show. Or just make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.